Good evening, everyone. My name is Lanre Oyewale, and today we are here to talk about interviewing, and we will make it practical as usual. Instead of just talking, although I will start by talking and by making you feel comfortable, and then we'll do some mocks, and I want you to feel free. So don't forget this call is being recorded, just in case you want to participate and you don't want people to see you. So you might not join the practical session, just as a reminder. Okay. So I'll start sharing now. If I start sharing. 1 minute, I just received a message. Maybe I'm sharing. I'm sure you can see my screen right now. Can you see my screen? Can you see? I don't want to share those. I don't want to share it like a slide, but maybe I should. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So the session says mock interview sessions, but it's not just mock. We're going to have volunteers to come out towards the end and we'll do like a mock interview. But I want us to learn one or two things before we do the mock interview. So my name is Lanre Oyewale. Now, I'm sure sometimes we feel like this guy on the hot seat sweating. Oh, you've been waiting for that interview and now you've been called and you are sweating. So today we'll try and make the room comfortable for you the next time you go, so you won't have to sweat like this guy. We do some interview preparation strategies, and we do mock interviews, and we try and give feedback from maybe what we've seen you say at the interview. And now I'm going to ask questions right now, and I want you to answer. Please, you can unmute your mic. I'm going to ask like 3 sets of questions. This is the first set. I have another set and I have another set. Don't worry. So you don't need to look at anywhere. So who wants to go for it and answer this question? What is the color of your shirt, the one you are wearing right now? I need somebody, just somebody to say it, and you're going to answer all the 3 questions. Joshua, do you want to do it? I want you to answer this question. Joshua, unmute.
Yes, good evening.
Eh?
Good evening. Color of my shirt, orange.
Orange, good. Okay, what's the name of your country?
Nigeria.
What is your first name?
My first name is Oluwasegun.
Oluwasegun. Now, did you think twice before answering any of those questions?
None.
Good. Do you feel pressured?
No.
Why do you think so?
Like they're affirmative, they are like straight on, like the questions I have ready answers for.
Good. Brilliant. That's what I want to hear. Now I'm going to the second set of questions, and you are going to answer the same question. So, how cold is Pluto?
Very cold.
How cold? I didn't say
how cold is Pluto? Sorry, like sometimes minus, let's say minus 20 something degree.
Okay, but we are not sure, are you?
Yes.
Okay. So how hot is the sun?
How hot the sun? The sun's temperature is, I think, 10,000 times our temperature here.
But do you know exact temperature of the sun?
Well, nobody can have an affirmative temperature of the sun.
It's
It's
you.
just a
It's you.
estimate.
Do, do you know it?
Nobody has that information.
I want
Uh,
a yes or no answer.
Even probes only have estimates.
Okay. Joshua, yes or
Yeah.
no? Do you know the temperature of the sun?
No,
Good. So how hot is Lokoja right now?
I can check. I can quickly
Do you know it?
verify.
Eh?
I don't know it now, but I can find out. It's
Good.
a
Thank
verifiable
you.
information.
So we go to the second set of colors. Second set of question. What is the color of your roof? The house you are now.
Yes. Well, it doesn't have the roof is just painted metallic silver. Like
You have
that's
an
what the
idea.
color. Yes.
Good. So how far is your house from your city center?
Oh, that would be about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 kilometers.
Brilliant. You have an idea. Good.
Yeah.
Now, who is older, Trump or Biden?
Oh, Biden.
Good. You have an idea. You are sure, not that you have an idea. Good.
Yeah.
Now, what is the point of all these questions? This first question, Joshua knew the answer without thinking twice. Okay? Because he already has the answers at the tip of his finger. This other question, he is not too sure, but he has an idea that Pluto is cold, doesn't know how cold. Sun is hot, doesn't know how hot. Lokoja, he knows it's hot, but can't do, but he can verify. Now, this one, he has an idea, So if he check, I'm sure the color of his roof will be close to what he said. How far from his house, he has an idea, but not exactly. So if he checks, if we check, it will be close to what he said. Who is older, Trump or Biden? He knows that Biden is older than Trump. Now, what am I trying to say? The question is, the reason we are like this guy at interviews is either we don't know the answer to those questions. If this guy knows the answer to the question, like Joshua knew the answer, knows the color of his shirt, knows the name of his country, knows his first name, if that is all they're going to ask him at this interview, he will not sweat. Joshua, will you sweat? If you know that these questions will
No,
determine if you get the job or not, you will not sweat. But if you know that the right answer, okay, the right answer to get you the job depends on, getting you the job depends on this particular answer, absolutely right. Will you sweat or not?
I would be a bit jittery or nervous.
Good. Do you get it? Yeah. Now, so the point is this, the reason we sweat, we shiver, is based on our knowledge. Now, what knowledge? Is not always about the knowledge of our role. Sometimes it's about the knowledge about ourselves. That is why they always ask all these questions. Tell me about yourself. Now, it borders on how well you know yourself. And to know yourself, it does not mean, because Joshua is a Yoruba guy, I'm very sure. I am a Yoruba guy. We have Igbo guys around us. We have British. We have Americans. They are not asking you, are you a Nigerian? Are you British? Are you Scottish or whatever? What they are asking you are these things. How well do you know your field? What is your area of specialization? What is your role within that field? How have you performed this role in the past? What tools and techniques did you use? What was the outcome and results? Can you communicate this effectively? Can you replicate this in our organization? That's what they are testing us at interviews. They don't really care about how tall or how fat you are. They want to be sure that you are the best person for that role. Now, if they start asking these questions and you can confidently tell them, like you can tell the color of the shirt you are wearing, like you can tell, even if you don't know precisely how far the house to your city center, but you have an idea, then you won't feel jittery. So these are the things you first of all start from. These reasons which we are afraid going for interviews because we don't know ourselves within the context of our field, our specialization, our role, what we've done before, what we use to do those things, the outcome, and can we effectively communicate these things, and can we do them all over again? For example, as a business analyst, or you can say, sorry, I'll be using more of business analyst, but I'll try and use some other fields today. What's your field? Where do you work? I work in projects. As what? A business analyst. What do you do in that role? Do you have something? Yeah, I help to gather requirements, identify needs, profile solutions that add value to the stakeholders. How have you performed that in the role? You give an example. When you were working at Rockitech, the problem was the website was not landing enough customers, and they brought me in to help them to identify what the problem was, to know, to recommend where they should be, and to recommend solutions that can bridge the gap between where they are right now and where they want to be. What tools did we use to do that? Now, for you to know the tools, I used different tools for research, different tools for analysis, different tools for documentation, different tools for presentation. And what techniques did you use? I use different tools, different techniques for research, different techniques for analysis, different techniques for documentation, different techniques for presentation. What was the outcome? 20%, 50% increase in customer landing. Can you communicate this effectively? Yes. You now start all over again how you did that. Can you replicate this in our organization? Yes. Now, if you now understand, that means if you understand your field, your area of specialization, what you have been called to do, where you've done that before, the tools and techniques you use, then it will be very easy for you to communicate your to tell the interviewer about yourself, just the way Joshua answered the first set of questions. Now, just like every other field, the business analyst and every other area, they have areas that they do, the things that what they do borders around. And I always tell my students, what you do as an analyst, business analyst, borders around that of research, analysis, documentation, and presentation. So if you know that everything you are coming to do in an organization is about, you are researching into the organization to understand what the problems are, what the loopholes are, areas for improvement, you are analyzing your results, you are documenting them, coming up with solution, and then presenting it to the stakeholders. It will be very easy to say these things in the context of a project you've done at an interview, and then you can be confident. But when you don't understand or know who you are, how well do you know yourself? How well do you know what you have been called to do? How have you done all these things? Then you will end up being like this guy. So the first place you start from, after you've landed the interview and you are at the interview, for you to be successful, it's to understand yourself, to understand your area very well, to understand your field, to understand the tools and techniques you need, to understand the context where you've worked, the results, and then to communicate these things effectively, and then to show confidence that you can replicate what you've done before. Then you are going to most likely land it. Okay, let's go on. Now, in this era of artificial intelligence, we have no choice but to leverage on AI. because the recruiter is already using AI to filter the CVs or to filter applications. So you can't say that you won't use AI because your competition is already using artificial intelligence. So you have to leverage AI from your application preparation to when you land a job. They are looking for how you can adapt. They are looking for digital literacy and they are looking for AI awareness because their competition is using artificial intelligence. So you and I also need to leverage on artificial intelligence. So they want to see how well we are using it ethically. Okay. And then now, in preparing for interviews, you want to look at how you can leverage AI to get behavioral interviews, questions, technical case studies, and scenario-based questions. We're going to look at some of this towards the end. Okay. And you can easily use LLM, different LLM, depending on the one you are using. Excuse me. It's a bit hot where I am. Depending on the one you are using. I use ChatGPT a lot. There's a new one that came out 3 or 4 weeks ago, DeepSeek. There are many ones that you can use. Just choose one or two. Anyone that works well for you, just use it very well and get used to it. Don't wait till when it's time for you to do the interview and start trying to play around it. No, get used to it. Okay. Now, before the interview, you want to use AI easily to research the company. You want to master the job description. You want to craft a winning resume and then do a personal branding. You want to, why do you need personal to do a personal branding? You want to stand out from the next person to you, before you or after you. You want to stand like an icon. You want to look different because let's tell ourselves the truth. If you go to the market and on the shelf you want to buy mango, you want to look for the best one. You want to touch it, to feel it. You know what you want. Some people like soft mango, like me. I want to cut it and it look red. Some people like hard mango. So you know what you are looking for. That's the same way that the interviewers today know who they are looking for. That's why they're asking us some questions to fill your pulse. To is this the right person we're looking for? They've seen you on the shelf. That's how your CV looks like, or that's how you look like on LinkedIn. They've seen what you look like. They are now coming to touch you at the interview to feel your pulse, to see if you are going to break under pressure, to see how you're going to react to some things. That's where personal branding and stuff come in. But these first three, you can use artificial intelligence to do it. You can research the company. All you need to do, just copy the website address of the company, put it on the LLM, DeepSeek or Claude AI or ChatGPT, and ask it simple questions like, what is the company culture? What are the recent projects? Are they involved in any mergers and acquisitions? Who are the key players? What are the main contracts they are doing right now? So you want to personalize them and bring that company into your head, okay? Coming into that interview. So that when you are asking questions, it's not just like you are entering a bus at the bus stop and you don't know the bus driver, you don't know who you are meeting in the bus. No, it's like you are making up your mind. I'm going on bus 54. I know the driver is John. I know every morning somebody sits on the first row, blah, blah. You've done your research about them. So when you get to the bus, you want to say, good morning, John. Good afternoon, Jacob. You know, you want to interact with everybody, not that you are going into the bus blindly. So you don't want to go into the interview too blind. You want to research the company. Then you also want to know what they want, because what they want for a business analyst might not be what they want for a scrum master. In fact, some large organizations for business analysts, they might need an IT business analyst. They might need another business analyst for process mapping. So because they just made an advert for business analyst does not mean they just want a generic business analyst. So you have to know what that JD wants, what that job description wants, and then use AI also to help to leverage at which area should I be focusing on and talking on when I'm speaking at this interview. Now, at different interviews, there are different questions that come up. We have behavioral questions, we have situational questions, we have technical questions. And now, if the company will be developing, depending largely on AI, they might start asking about AI-related questions. Behavioral questions like, tell me about a time you did X, Y, and Z. They want to see how you did it, how you perform. You might not even have that, you might not have experienced that thing before. Situation question, we say, how will you handle so, and so? Okay. And then technical questions could be explain how you gather requirements. They start asking things like, what is gap analysis? What is process mapping? They start going to technical things that you might need to define, explain, and how you use them. And then they might also start doing AI related questions. But because this one, they don't really expect you to know it deeply, but just want you to have general knowledge about AI. You don't need to say, oh, it's coding X, it's do that, it's blah blah. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to know the basics, okay, and how you can use it to enhance your work, because AI is going very low now. Some are even no or zero coding at all. So all you need to do as an end user to know how to use it to enhance your daily work. But it will be a red flag if you say that, oh, I don't know anything about AI, I'm not even interested in it, it's bad, I don't want to use it. So it's good to prepare for all these ones. Okay, let's go on. Now, some of us are camera shy, done one or two trainings, and people don't like to put on their cameras. If I was wondering the interview and you don't want to show yourself on the camera, I'm not sure if I will want to employ you. Why? Because personally, as I'm talking, if you listen to my younger brother speak and my older brother speak, our voices will sound alike on the phone without looking at our faces. So it should take maybe our wives to know that this is the person talking, this is the person talking, this is not that person talking. But if it's a person that I'm meeting for the first time, I put off the camera and I'm talking like this, I can do an interview for my brother, for any of my brother, and they can get the job and they can work. They won't know who did the job. So at the interview, they want to see the person that have submitted the CV. They want to see you face to face. So you must learn to be able to face the camera confidently. And of course, have a very good setup in your room. As much as possible, have the light facing you. You have a good background, professional. If we are speaking, we are somewhere that the background might not be what you want to see. You want to set it to be very good. And then communicate, maintain eye contact with the camera. And then also have very good engaging techniques. If you are going to use visuals, if you want to be telling stories, it's always good to be telling stories. And there are also some times that I want to say something. There are some things that I want to remember during the interview that maybe the interview, there are some keywords that I want them to jump at me, but I might forget them. So what do? I write them down, I paste them somewhere above the level of my camera. So if I'm looking at the camera, I can just easily look up. Not that I'm looking up like this or like that. I will see those that I've written and then to prompt me to remember what I want to say. Okay, so you could also adopt that, but that was initially in the beginning when I was just doing interviews, but now I don't do that again. But then it's really, really worked for me. There was a time I would print out my resume in like 2 or 3 sheets and I align them at the back of my camera like this. So when I'm talking, because it's sometimes very easy for you, it's easy for you to forget some things once you start talking, and you can just go off track. So I put them so to arrange my thoughts, or there's some questions that I know will always come in, like tell me about yourself. tell me about XYZ. I will have written those answers there, and then I can speak directly looking at them and add some filler words and stuff to just to not to sound as if I'm reading something. But now I don't do that again. I can do an interview straight from even from off the street or wherever. I don't need to look at anywhere. But sometimes when you're just starting, these things could help you. So you need to look for ways that to understand yourself and look for the best way that you set up your environment, you can communicate effectively, and then also engage your audience. And you don't want to be sweating like I'm sweating right now. I'm not sweating because I'm on the hot seat. I'm sweating because I'm in a hot room. You want to carry your audience along. And sometimes I call some things, you want to hypnotize your interviewer. What do I mean by hypnotize your interviewer? When I know that I've written a lot of things around in my room, maybe the interview is very technical and there are so many things I don't want to forget. I could have some sticky notes up and down around that. I know I'll be looking that if I look around there, they will notice that I've taken my eyes off the camera that I'm looking. So how do I hypnotize the interviewer? It's like that same time that I asked Joshua, what's the color of your shirt? I knew it's something that he does not need to think about. There are some things that you ask you at the beginning that they don't know you need to think about. So at that point, that is when I'll let them assume that naturally I look like this. I look like this when I'm talking. We are not a robot. They don't expect it to look 100% for like 10, 30 minutes, 1 hour into the camera like this. There are sometimes you look down, like you are thinking, like they ask you, oh, are you a supporter? Which one do you prefer, Arsenal or Manchester United? Look like this, when we are breaking the ice breaking, you, they know that you are fond of looking around. But what you are trying to do is that we are trying to tell them that sometimes I look around when I'm gathering my thoughts, or maybe, so that when you are now looking for an information from the word that you've pasted, they will not notice. They will just assume, oh, that's the way he behaves. That's the way he looks around. They won't know that you've hypnotized them to assume that that's the way you behave. You've trained them just like the way we train AI. You've trained them to assume that, oh, once he's looking like that, he's just gathering his thoughts, not that he's reading something, but they won't know that actually reading something. So point is that you need to understand yourself, how well things work for you, and then you practice these things. Get like an interview buddy, somebody that you do these things together. Say, let's do some interviews together. Oh, does it look like I'm looking around? No, it doesn't look like. Okay, what of this place? No, good. So you understand the perfect angle where you are going to set your camera, the perfect angle where you need to put those books or post-it notes, whatever, that nobody will understand. Like now I'm looking at the camera, but I can see at the level above the camera that I can read something easily. So these are things that you need to train yourself to know. Okay, good. Now, we have some common interview questions, common and interview challenges. Like there are times that we're going to have difficult questions. There was a time that somebody asked me a question. He said, do you know about, have you heard of behavioral driven development? That was like 2 years or 3 years ago. Meanwhile, I did a course on LinkedIn Learning about it like months before then, but I've actually forgotten almost everything about it. So it was towards the end of the interview. He asked me that question. I said, hold on. I said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I remember, but I've read about before. But just pardon. Let me just try if it's. But if not, but let me just give it a try. But I'm not sure if it's right. But I can give it a try. Then I said what I thought it was, and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "Yeah, that's right. That's what it is." Okay, good, brilliant. So the thing about difficult question is this, and this is one of the reasons some of us sweat at interviews or have nervousness going for interviews. Second thing, this overcoming nervousness is because we're afraid that they might ask us questions that we don't have answers to. Now, I want you to always go to interviews with this mindset. I don't have answers to every question. Number one. Number two, those things that I don't have answers to, I can research and get the answer to them. Just like Joshua said, that even nobody knows XYZ, but I can get research. When I asked him what is the temperature about in Lokoja, he said he can research it and get it. That is the mindset that they want. Even the person asking you that question does not have all the answers to all the questions. But you being truthful that you don't have the answer to it, you having the courage to acknowledge that fact and the initiative to do the research, that is just enough. So you not knowing an answer to a question, a set of questions, is also another way to show a form of strength. So don't go there thinking that they could ask me questions that I don't have answers to. No, see it as an opportunity to show another strength that I don't have answer to it, but no problem. I can do my research. I'll get back to you. And at the end of the day, I will have added to my bank of knowledge. Okay. Overcoming nervousness. We all have different ways of overcoming nervousness. Okay. Like not talking too fast, taking your time, relaxing. And then this also what I always tell my students. I said, if you go for an interview, the worst case scenario is you won't be given the job. That's the worst case scenario. They won't send the police come and arrest you. They won't beat you. You won't be detained. So the worst case is that you won't get a job. And you won't be the first person not to get a job. And you will not be the last person. So relax. You've not done anything wrong. You've not stolen anything. You've not killed anybody. You are not a criminal. Nobody's going to charge you to court. Just attend the interview. The worst case scenario is, unfortunately, at this what do you call it? At this time, we won't be going forward. That is the worst. So they say, hope for the best, expect the worst. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Once you have that mentality, you won't be nervous. Okay, and then breathe in or out. And some people, they go around with like this usually stress balls that they press and then to reduce stress. Okay, and sometimes some people say, oh, I've not been working for 5-10 years, how do I explain this? There's no direct answer to that. As long as sometimes what they are looking for is maybe they want to be sure maybe you've not been incarcerated, you've not been in prison or whatever. Some people could have maternity leaves. Some people could have educational gaps, or some people are just changing career, and there's really nothing bad about that. As long as where you are going to right now, you understand your role, what you've done before, what you can do, what you are there for, and you understand the job description. So just relax and take it easy. Okay. So final tips. Prepare questions for the interviewers. At the end of the interview, sometimes we're just looking at the clock. This interview is 1 hour. I'm just looking at it. I just hope 1 hour quickly runs out, 1 hour. So after the interview, and they ask you, do you have any questions for us? No, I don't have any question for you. Thank you. No, please never leave that place without asking questions, about the organization, where they want to be in the future, about the team you'll be working with. What are they working right now? About what success will look like if they finally get you as their business analyst or product owner, scrum master, software tester, project manager. Okay. And then afterwards, you can write a personalized thank you notes to them, the interviewers, if you have their emails. Sometimes they could ask you about your salary expectation. Have an idea of what that role will be. If they have an idea, it's not good to always give a figure. I'm expecting 70,000 pounds or 40,000 pounds. Always give a range, so allow room for negotiation, and then practice with your peers, with your colleagues. I've said it before. Always practice and practice and practice. The more you speak, the better you get. I always encourage my students to speak in classes. So now I've said a lot of things. Before we do some mock interviews just to relax. I will show us one or two things on how to use AI to not to tailor our CV, but to prepare for an interview. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to do that. So, and then I'll now ask one person to volunteer to be a candidate for a role, and then two people or one person will join me and we interview that person. Don't worry, we'll share the questions for the interview and then we see how it goes from there. So let's look for a role right now. Oops. Let's everybody. Okay. Are you still seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are you seeing? Are you seeing two
Still
screens?
volunteer, one person candidate, two interview.
Okay. I'm on two screens. And it's just one minute, please. Okay. So which one are you seeing right now, Joshua?
It's still the same.
Same.
Yes,
Okay.
the mock
I'm not
interview.
sharing this. Mock interview. Okay. I think I'm not sharing properly. This one looks different, right? I think something else.
Yes. This is
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought I was sharing my own screen. Full description. Let's say you got this job interview. Sorry, let's say you got this job. Let's say you got this job and there are different ways you can prepare for this job. Let's assume it's always good to, let's say you have this job and you have your CV. Sorry, I don't know why I'm sharing this thing. Are you seeing my CV right now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
No, I mean, are you seeing my CV now?
No,
Joshua?
we can only
can
see
see
the
your
screen.
screen,
It says
sir.
business analysts.
This is a
Business
business
analyst
analyst
Lagos.
role at Cavitas Holding.
Okay, good. I just want to come. I need to stop sharing. I'm not sharing the right way. Good. So what are you saying now?
Your CV.
My CV. Good.
Yes, sir.
That's what I wanted to see. Yeah. So let's have this CV right now. Let's say I have this CV that I used the last time. Okay. So I'm going to the second part of, I've done the theory. I won't take too long on this part on how to to tailor your CV to a job description because I want us to do some mock, because what we're trying to do says a mock interview, but I'll just quickly rush this one, okay? I won't stay too long in that. So let's say we are here, we got this job, we saw this job, we want to apply for this job, okay? Okay. I could come here, copy the job, copy the link, and I can come here to my friend chat GPT. You can start a new chat. I can ask it, I can say because this is what I told you to do, right? So let me just quickly show it to you. I want you to act as an experienced. So I want to use ChatGPT to tailor my CV to that job role. Okay. So then we get the job. Let's assume we've gotten the interview and we now do an interview for that job. Okay. I want to act as an experienced CV writer. There's another thing that we've done before, prompt engineering, but I don't think that's what we're here for today. So we won't go into how to prompt it, to this job role. So I'll put that Control V. I just hope it can get access to it. If not, I'll write it again. So I'm now pasting that job role there. This is the job role. Okay, it has seen it. Okay, to the job role. Yeah. Shift enter, and then I would say make my CV the which one can I say? What can I say? The best fit. Okay. The best fit for the role and ensure that it's us all the. Are you seeing ChatGPT, right? Business analysis.
Yes, we are.
Good. Tricks. That's the ATS. ATS is application tracking system. Neuro. Okay. So what I'm now going to do is I'll now come here, upload my CV from this where's my CV? No, that's not it. That's not the 125 folder. CV. This one. No. Okay. Okay, let me just use this one. I'm coming, let me. But I was going to do something first. Let's come here first before I do that to my CV. I could use something. There's a plugin an extension that you can add to Chrome. There are different ones that you can use to check your CV. You can use Jobalytics. There are so many. Now, you can write down these Jobalytics. You can go to YouTube and check how to install it, how to add it to your Chrome as a Chrome extension. It's very, very easy and straightforward. So what it does is that it checks how your CV matches to a job. Okay, so there are so many ones I can use apart from Jobalytics, but let's just use Jobalytics now. So if I pick Jobalytics here right now, I sell it, I can ask it to analyze a job description. But before then, I can upload a new resume. Okay, I come here, desktop, 2025 CV. Okay, I can now select this CV, but I'm not sure this is the one I use. Let me just select this CV. So I can ask Jobalytics to use that CV, okay, 2025 CV. I think that's one I'm sharing. Open. So this file is in use. Okay, it's because I've opened it somewhere. That's when I've opened it. So I'm going to close it here. I'm going to close it here. Okay, open. So it has uploaded that CV, and I will ask it to analyze that CV for the job description. Analyze job description. So what is saying that my CV is 30% match for this particular job description for this business analyst. So what do I need to do? Now I need to optimize this CV to get to go a little bit before I can start applying. It will underline these ones in red are those that are missing from my CV. Just like this is close to what the hiring managers will use to screen our CV. So I want to get it as close as possible to what they will do so that my CV will at least move to the top of the rank. So then I'm now supposed to come here and to do this one. I'm not sure that's the CV I used. Okay, let me just I'm not sure that's the CV I used. I said let me upload another CV. So it does. I just want to upload another CV for that job description. Okay. So I'll upload this CV that we optimized just now. We used just now. Desktop. Yeah. So this is the one I uploaded on that website. I'll open it. Now they log this CV to the job description. So I got the job description and I asked it to tailor my CV to that job description that we saw. Okay. But meanwhile, I initially uploaded my CV and it showed me 30%. So it has optimized my CV, or it's still optimizing my CV, whatever. So let's wait and then I'll copy it and then we test if it has gone up a little bit further. Do you understand what I'm doing right now?
Yes, yes.
Good. Thank you. So now it's saying note this CV version is tailored for optimal ATS performance and aligning closely with key business analyst competencies, metrics, and keywords sought by recruiters in the business analyst role. I'm not saying sought by recruiters, I said sought by that job description, but let's see. Let's come up here. Then all I need to do is just copy it. Copy it. Where is it? There you go. So I'm just going to copy this CV. Copy. So let's paste it here. Okay. Let's just save it in that same folder, right? And call it 2. Save. So we have another CV right now. Okay. So what do we do now? Then we test this new CV. Abby? So we come here again. Upload new CV. The first one that we use was 31%, but that same CV, we optimize it. And this is the CV2. Let's see if it has gone up a little bit. Analyze job description. Oh, sorry. Or didn't I optimize properly? Well, something is wrong. You didn't do it properly. But don't worry. I know what to do. I'll use another style. I'll come here like this. Okay. What is missing? It says I'm missing all these words. All these words are missing. So I'm going to copy all these words that are missing. I'm going to copy these words. I'll come here. I'll say not include, incorporate these keywords strategy. Payload. Is that correct word of spelling of payload?
Why before hell?
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, where is it again? Why before L? Oh, okay. I found something was wrong. I'm going to paste this keywords. Control V. So I've pasted all those keywords that I got from here. Can you see? All those keywords I brought from here, from Jobalytics, these missing keywords, what is missing? Okay. And put them here. Okay. And then I will say go, because already that's my CV, right? And then tell it to go. So it will think again. It's now reworking my CV. Oh, we are almost 1 hour through, so we need to leave this part very soon and just 1 or 2 mock interviews. But it's good if we have, everything in one like this. Then why is editing it? While I was talking, I think I skipped a part of LinkedIn. It's very good when you brand yourself properly. Branding sometimes it's good to look for a niche. Like you are not just a business analyst. You could decide or experiment to move along a niche. Sometimes it could be because you've worked in an area before and you're interested in that area. So it could be cloud, it could be you are migrating, a business analyst that is experienced in migration projects or insurance projects, like me, insurance projects, insurance, AI, insurance, things like that. Listen, it's taking too long. Something is wrong. I'm going to stop it and use another method to do this. Okay. Shouldn't be taking this long. Okay, maybe it has too many words. It's failed to edit. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to rewrite the prompt and I'm going to add the CV straight. So I'm going to close this one here. It's open here. I have the words. There are different ways to do it. So generates. I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy these words. I'm going to come here, just come this second CV, and I'll just say, so I don't want to spend too much time on this part. XP. No, my CV to A. JD by incorporating this keyword strategy within the CV and make it to have key BA words ATS with peak. So you can always change the BA to PM, PM or whatever. Control V. Oh no, come on. Delete. Oh, okay, they are there already. Sorry. So let's see if it's gonna work. Reading documents. So also you want to have a good LinkedIn profile. So it's working on it. Okay, so I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it. So if this does not work, don't worry, I'll find a way to quickly do Ojoro and show you. Ojoro is like a shortcut. Sorry, what's going on? Copy. So hopefully, let's say this one. Let's hope this guy works. Browse. So I'll call it TV what? TV3. Save. Okay. So what do we do again? We test it, right? We test it. You can see it's not, it's easy, it's good, uploading resume, CV3. So if this does not work, I'll use one style, analyze. Oh, it works better now. Can you see? How many percent do we have now?
84.
84. But is that good enough? No, because I know somebody like Joshua will do 100%. So I'm not going to wait. I'm going to want to try to make it 95 or 100%. So what do? I look for missing words. So I still have strategy, integration, data analysis, blah, blah, missing. I'll copy them. Okay, so there are ways that I can still put those words there, but we don't have time. This is not what we are doing today is not CV tailoring. It's, we are doing more, but so I don't want us to CV4 say. So I don't want to waste time, but also I don't want. So what I'll just those missing words, you see, I'll just find it. Let's just save it. So what's going on? Hey, your Jamboy save up will not be uploaded because server is too busy. Too busy. Okay, so what I'm just doing, just for the sake of this class, I'll just paste those keywords inside that CV here. Hey, say my server is too. Just everywhere. Not because because it's saving to the cloud. So what do we do then? Okay. Address. Okay, I think that's saved now. CV4. So that we leave this part of, I want us to leave this part. We're going to another part in the next 2-3 minutes. So I have a CV4 right now, but are we enjoying it so far? Please.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see if CV4 has improved. 86%. Okay. Anyways, just keep improving to get 100% or 101% as much as you want. So let's leave this part now. Let's go to the next part. Okay. Now, the next part is this. We have this job, right? You have this address, okay? And you now say, oh, I've gotten the job. Let's say they called you for the interview, right? And you have the job. You can say, you can just say that I got the job. Just talk to us as a friend, got the job. Let's be happy with you, for you. Control V, that's the, let's assume we got the job or we got the job, okay? But now we need to prepare for it, it knows my name, Conversation Ladimiji. Yeah. But let's say before you got the job, you could have, normally I would have used that CV to come up with a cover letter for the job. For that, before submitting it normally. For example, maybe let's say I uploaded that CV, this CV4, let's say I uploaded it. I can ask it, I can say, please come up with a 1-page cover letter for this. I should have done this before I got the job, for this JD based on my CV. Okay, let's just assume. So I wanted to come up with a 1-page cover letter for me that I should have submitted, or that I would have loved to submit for that, with that registering. Oh, sorry, still thinking. Sorry. Okay, so this is the 1-page cover letter it's wrote for me now. Brilliant, So it has tailored my CV. That's 1-page cover letter. It has tailored my CV, my cover letter. Everything is, once when they are reading it, they will feel that they will feel as if I've not sent that application or this CV or this cover letter to another company that I actually have them in mind when I was writing this, cover letter. So it will customize and tailor my experiences, everything, that particular work experience. Everything, what they want to hear is what you can see, that it is detailing, it is highlighting some things. Those are the things that those people want. It will highlight it on that cover letter. So I'll just go, just like before, wherever I saved it, I have my cover letter for that job, make it fine the way I want to be, I want it to be 1-page. I'll find a way to make it 1-page. Anyway, I have my cover letter for that. I'll save it in that same folder that I've saved everything. Cover letter, for that job, because I always have a folder for every job. I have the folder for every job. I have the cover letter. I have the CV. So once they call me, I know where to go to. I won't say, oh, please, what CV did I use for that? No, or which CV did I send? I don't want to be asking such a silly question. Now, let's say I've gotten to this stage now. So the next thing that I've landed the job is what? Is that I now want to prepare for the interview. Okay, I will now say, please prepare me for the interview. And my CV has landed me interview for the role. So first of all, I'm giving it a blank check to see how it's going to prepare me for the interview. Because I could say prepare me for a technical interview. I could say prepare me for a situational based interview questions or whatever. I would say prepare me for interview with the senior stakeholders or whatever with the top executive, so it can come up with different things. But sometimes I want it to, because it already knows what they want. So let's see what it's saying. Don't forget, we are trying to see how AI can help us with interviews. Then we just do one or two things. I will ask one or two people to volunteer. And then I'm just going to show you something again before we do that. So key areas likely to be assessed: technical skills, SQL, Tableau, Excel, Azure DevOps, Jira, Confluence. Business analysis techniques, requirement solicitation, user stories. My students will know that I love user stories a lot. Assist to be process mapping, stakeholder management. Soft skills, communication, problem solving, adaptability in fast-paced environment, consulting capabilities, domain knowledge, finance, fintech, forecasting, business performance improvements. Common interview questions and how to answer them. So you see, what we are doing, I'm not teaching you how to do business analysis interview. I'm teaching you, what we're doing now, we are actually tailoring your CV to a job description, and we are tailoring the interview question to that particular CV. Of course, they will not ask you engineering questions. They're not going to ask you cybersecurity questions. They're still going to ask you business analyst question and your experiences based on what they want you to do in their office. And they've said that in that job description. So that's what this AI, this large language model, is focusing on. So instead of you thinking and scratching your head on what you should be thinking about, this guy is doing it for you, because most likely that's what they too will use to where they are to ask you questions. Or maybe they have those lists of questions. They can just ask AI to come up with questions, and then you're using AI. So some people say that it's the child of fire you sent to fire. So you just let them attack themselves. So all you need to do is just prepare for it, Okay, so can you talk me through a recent project where you use SQL or Tableau? Some will say, I do not use SQL, I don't know Tableau. See, they are employing you as a business analyst, not an SQL expert and not a Tableau expert. So if you've not used SQL before or Tableau, all you need to go, please, just go to YouTube, watch SQL, know the basics. Tableau, know the basics about it, know the key buzzwords. So you don't need to say deep things. It could be you just use it to understand some series of data, or to do some presentations to explain how XYZ happen. A number of people that come to our website daily, and that is simple. All they want you to do is to understand the basics. So you don't need to be a professor of SQL or Tableau. SQL is structured query language. You don't need to know everything. That's not your work. You're not a data analyst. So discuss. So it's giving me the question. Okay, it has also give me the answer. It's saying discuss AXA insurance project where utilize SQL for data recovery and Tableau for key performance indices visualization. That's what I just said. I like how this improve customer experience. You see, when they ask you those questions, you need to say what was the result when you used it, what was the result? And whenever they ask you a question, always refer it back to a real life experience. Tell a story and tell the result. If possible, or where possible, where necessary, use the STAR approach. The STAR approach is an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. That means, what was the problem? What were you tasked to do as a project manager, Scrum Master, business analyst, or whatever? What action did you take, and what was the result? Please, the results should be a quantifiable amount, either in percentages or in amounts. I reduced cost by 20%. I increased revenue by 50%. I saved time by XYZ. I added so. Okay, always show achievements, maybe our achievement or results in percentages, in measurable terms. So how do you approach gathering requirements from stakeholders? Answer: mention facilitating discovery workshops, using interviews, and creating user stories. Explain how you ensure alignment with business objectives by defining a clear project scope. then give an example of how you actually did it, not theory. The person you are talking to understands what workshops are, understands what interviews are, understand what user stories. They want to see how you did it. Question 3, how do you ensure business performance is tracked effectively? Talk about monitoring KPIs via Tableau, dashboard, blah, 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 Now, so it has given you different kinds of questions. It's now coming to stakeholder management and communication, because these are the areas that they expect you, that they want you to have, to be good at in that job description. Now, question 4 says, describe a time you had to manage conflicting stakeholder interest. Answer. You can actually, now, I think we measured the STAR approach. Now, it's saying use the STAR method: the situation, the task, the action, and the result. So it's now using what I did, my CV, to give me answers, not a generic answer that's going to give to Tolu or to Joshua. This is the answer that Lanre is based on Lanre's CV. So what is going to give Tolu Lokpe is different from what's going to give to Lanre. So that's why you can see that's why I took my time to use that my CV to bring it in and then to prepare for the interview. Okay? Please, if you pardon me 1 minute, my throat is dry. Forgive me. Okay, so it says situation. Stakeholders have different visions for AXA's IVR system. Task, align technical specification with business goal. That's what you've been tasked to do. Action, conducted multiple stakeholder workshop, documented priorities, present, blah, blah. Results, successful IVR integration, reduced response times by 20%. Please, your results always put quantifiable metrics. 20% increase, reduce, made revenue by $50 million, $5 million, something that they can quantify. Okay. Problem solving. Can you give an example of how you introduce innovation in a project? How do you stay updated in, things like that? So it's also coming with behavioral questions, different kinds of questions. During the presentation, I said we have different kinds of questions. We have behavioral questions, we have problem solving questions, we have stakeholder management questions, different kinds of questions. Then practical task prep. He said if assessment is involved, SQL test, practice SQL queries. These are the ones that said if they might ask you to do some practical tests, either online, maybe the tests come to the office or whatever. Tableau exercise, case study, questions to ask the interviewer. Sometimes Tolokwe said he got a job just by showing his Jira board, or so is it Jira or Azure DevOps board to someone interview. You can have, I always tell my students, you can have like a Google Drive of example of things you've done. Just put it there. Once you interview, you can say, well, can I take you through some of, can I share my screen or some of things I've done before? And they see it. They see the mock-ups you've done. They've seen the SQL queries you've done. They've seen different things you've done. They've seen the sample of what things you've done. It's you are already standing out from the crowd. Not everybody's going to show them that. You're already standing up. You're already differentiating yourself. Okay. Questions to ask the interviewer. You can see now, I told you, don't say I don't have questions. You must go with a question. I didn't ask ChatGPT to say this. You can see it's coming up with some things I said. He said, so you have to come up with questions that you have to ask them. I don't want to go deep into these questions, So 5 key interview tips. STAR, be ready. Quantitative achievement. See, it's giving us tips again. Be STAR ready. That means structure your answers using situation, task, results. When they ask you a question, for example, when they ask you what is gap analysis, don't just go there and say gap analysis is understanding where the business or organization is right now, where they want to go to, and researching into all the various steps in the middle where I can close the gap. That's gap analysis. And keep quiet. The person that asks you that question knows that already. So you've not added anything to the person. They want you to know how you did it. Give them a situation. Give them a time that you had a problem or your organization has a problem and you're tasked to do something. What action did you take and what was the result? It doesn't have to be long. You can tell a story, it can be short. Just always put in context, learn to tell stories. And I said quantify achievements. So I said always use quantifiable achievements. Quantifiable achievement. Mention improvements in KPI performance, cost savings, customer satisfaction, see percentages. Quantify. Please don't forget to use quantifiable achievements. Show adaptability, demonstrate business acumen. Show that you understand that area that you are talking about. Final checklist, research companies' recent projects. Good. I think we talked about it when I was doing my presentation. Prepare star stories from, okay, anyways. Revisit Tableau, dashboards, queries, and Excel models you've built. Practice confidence, clear communication. Do as if you are speaking to your friend, your colleague, especially around business process and recommendations. You've got this. Allow me. Let's know if you like to run a mock interview. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to run a mock interview, and I'm going to run a mock interview with somebody now. Yes. Not Rob, Ron. The topic today is we are trying to see how we can leverage AI to do mock interview, to do interview. It's already started doing it for you. It's already doing mock interviews. Okay. So I think this is the time we call somebody now to come and sit in and ask these questions, answer this question that ChatGPT is asking me. Okay, see, so you can see that it can ask you, it can ask you a question, but I think I can take it a bit further. I'll show you something right now. I think we have 30 more minutes, if I'm right. Hey, I hope I'm not the only one here. Am I still in the session?
we are with you.
Yeah, we are here.
I can hear you.
Okay, because everywhere is silent. Maybe I'm talking too much. Are we enjoying so far? Feedback, please.
An eye opener. You are entering into every corner. This ChatGPT thing. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Now I'm going to show you something. He said, let's jump right into your mock interview, Oladimiji. I will act as the interviewer and ask you questions in real time. You will respond as you would in real interview. I will provide feedback after each response and suggest improvements where needed. Imagine, interview starts now. Interviewer, me. Hi, Oladimiji, welcome. Let's start with a simple one to get you warmed up. Can you walk me through your experience as a business analyst and highlight how your work has driven business growth and improvements? Turn to your response, type your answer as you say it in an interview. Can you see? Now, I want to take it a step further. Can you see my video? Are you seeing me?
Yes, yeah, we can
I need
see
to
it.
respond.
Yes, we can see you.
Good. Now, I have the same thing here on my iPad. Okay. So instead of answering it typing, let me see if I can do something. I mean, hello. I'd like to thank you very much, ChatGPT, for this time. And thank you for that question. To answer your question as how my experience as a business analyst, oh, sorry, it's failed. What I'm trying to show you, you can actually do a real interview mock with your voice and it's going to respond with voice. But maybe because the network I have here is very poor. So as I was speaking, it will capture it and give me voice response. And also have a not physical, it's not physical, a typed one on the screen, but I'm having poor internet. So let's use another method. So what I'm going to do is just to wait, so I won't waste time because I don't know how to type fast. I'll just ask it to do something. I'll just say, please answer the question for me. Normally, I'm supposed to give it an answer, okay? So it's now answering the question for me now. Thank you for the question. Let me walk you through my experience as a business analyst and how my work has contributed to business growth and improved service. You can see that it's when I was answering the question, that's what I even said first. Thank you for asking that question. Thanks for that question. No, try to be courteous. Sometimes when you are answering questions at interviews, it's not every time that they are all particular about the answer you are giving, but they are particular about your etiquette, the way you are answering it, not always every time what you are answering, the manner and the approach, your composure, the one they are looking at it that can this guy work with us? Can this guy gel with our team? Is it, so do you want someone I'm trying to say? So be respectful, be courteous. I'm not saying be a bootlicker, but, be courteous. So now it's using STAR approach. The situation in my role at AXA Insurance UK and the company was facing challenges and customer satisfaction and operational efficiency due to outdated digital process and customer service system. The business name, blah, blah, blah. Then the task, what you are told to do, the action I began, and the result. Now, when you are answering the question, you don't need to say the situation was, the task was, the action was, the result was. No. But as you are saying, they can pick it. That's the 4 things they want to see. What's the problem? What's the challenge? Okay, we now know what the challenge is. So what did they tell you to do? What is your own involvement? Then the 3, what they told you to do, what action did you take to solve that problem? Then number 4, what is the result? Quantifiable. That's what they will be saying. Okay. Now it didn't stop there. It now said that beyond AXA, because it started from there. This question that they ask you, okay, can you walk me through your experience as a business analyst and highlight how your work has driven business growth and improvement? This question that they've asked you is just like, tell me about yourself. Sometimes just prepare for that question. Tell me about yourself. They might not ask you directly that tell me about yourself, but that's what they are telling you as a business analyst. That's why I said, started in the beginning. Do you understand the field where you are working? Do you understand your role? Do you understand what you have done there before in that role? Can you replicate it in our own organization? That is all they are asking you. But if you don't understand yourself, you don't know who you are, you cannot even define business analysis or understand who a business analyst is, or understand the tenets of business analyst, that you are in an organization to understand what the business needs are, to investigate in the business processes, people, and IT, to provide solutions. And those solutions that you provide must add value to the stakeholders. And these things you do can be done with the better use of IT. If you don't understand that, it will be difficult for you when they ask you to answer this question, tell me about yourself. But when you understand that you're a problem solver, you are an investigator, you are a communicator, you are a solution provider, you are a link between the IT and the business. It is very easy to tell them about yourself and to put it in context. That is what ChatGPT has done for Lanre here. Okay? So it's very easy to pass interview when you understand yourself. And that's why I started from asking that question, and Joshua answered, I'm wearing an orange shirt. I'm wearing this. If you don't know yourself, you can't tell me about yourself. If you don't know yourself, and if you don't know yourself, you can't tell me about yourself, I can't pass you in an interview. Excuse me. So we can see where we started from, then our CV, getting to tailor to that particular job, and then now getting interview questions preparation from that particular CV. Okay. So now, when you are now telling them about yourself, sometimes you can even hype yourself. I am a result clinic on blah blah blah. Don't take it too long. We all know that you are hyping yourself. Everybody will hype themselves. If you give a madman a hoe, the madman will use that hoe to bring more ground to itself. So it's good, yes. Now go straight to what you've done before, starting from your most recent employment or where you are right now. So if you're going to talk like 5 minutes, use like 2.5 to 3 minutes for that, your most recent, and then the other ones, spread what you've done in the other ones, like what ChatGPT did here. So beyond AXA, our dream business analyst performance at Lloyd's Group by enhancing blah, 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 at Eze, where I worked, at the other places. So you mentioned all those ones. Okay. So then you now highlight, so you said this answer highlights business intelligence, what they want to hear, stakeholder engagement, KPI, cost reduction, align fintech, and ability to perform in fast-paced environments. Now he's saying, would you like to move to the next question or refine this answer further? I can ask you to refine the answer further if I want to study, or I just say move to the next question. So if you are used to ChatGPT, it'll be taking you to places you don't know. Move to the next question. Next question. Then I'll ask somebody to get onto the hot seat. Can you describe a time when you had to solve a complex business problem? How did you approach it, and what was the outcome? Please, interviews for in IT, either for BA, Scrum Master, Product Owner, Developer, Payment, it is not like JAM. You don't need to cram. Okay. If you understand your role, you answer any question. Most people that are asking those questions, they don't have, I always say it, they don't have a written list of answers, because they don't expect Lanre to say what Tolu will say, what Jide will say, what Joshua will say, what Kenneth will say. They don't all expect to say the same thing. They want you to see how you are going to approach it. They are not employing all of you. It's you they want to employ. So who are you? Let's see how you're going to approach it. Let's see your analytical breakdown of understanding of the question, of your approach, of your presentation. And worst case scenario, if you don't know the answer, how will you attempt what you don't know? That is another solution to itself. Okay. There's a crafted response. Can you describe a time when you had to resolve a complex business problem? How did you approach it, and what was the outcome? Certainly, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 action, 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 action. Good. We need to stop doing this right now. And then let me stop sharing because of time. And let's put somebody on the hot seat. Do we have any question before we go to the next phase? Feedback, have you enjoyed it so far? It's in people.
Then I don't know, maybe it's your laptop then.
Sorry? Christopher, I said something.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't even know I've muted myself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I think I joined the training a bit late anyway from work. No, my question is that I kind of struggle when I mean struggle. So um in terms of using ChatGPT generally to make to create a CV on LinkedIn. I've never really had my CV on LinkedIn. It has always been blank. That's always been blank because I don't know how to tailor. Um, Maybe I need to combine. So I've got an experience in as a BA, got an experience as a PM. Currently working with the council as a business support officer's role, but in the project yeah, including project anyway with project area. So in that way, is it possible for me to fusion everything together, or do I need to have one CV tailored to each role? I'm a Scrum certified as well. So I mean, with all these things, I mean, I was just doing all those things, but then I just go for whatever job, and I've been doing like a contract work sometime, most of the time. So I'm finding it difficult to actually align my CV together, and that's the reason why I never have. I just go for a job search on maybe on Indeed and things. Anything that has to do with my LinkedIn, I don't go down there at all because I just felt I don't know exactly what to put there, and I've been hearing people say, "Oh no, you can't combine 2 or 3 different jobs all together." So I don't know if you can just give me a tip, just help me out in that situation.
Yeah, thank you, Christopher. It's very, very possible to combine all these things together. In fact, the things you mentioned, they work hand in hand. I've seen jobs that they are looking for a BA with project management background that has experience in Scrum or whatever, Agile environment. So all you said can be put in a CV easily. Yours is not very difficult at all. You can put it. Now, the question you asked me, if you even go to ChatGPT and just speak to it just the way you spoke to me, oh, I have experience in XYZ, just put in bullet points. I have Scrum Mastery, blah, blah. I have Scrum Mastery. This is my CV. Incorporate this experience within my CV and watch miracles happen.
Funny enough, I did that yesterday, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I put this on the, I think it's just story when you hear people say, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. So, and that's just the reason why I'm a little bit skeptical. And also, can I just use the opportunity once again to ask say in times of well, this is like a cheating thing anyway. So I did apply to a civil servant job. And when you have like 5,000 words that you have to write, and I'm like, this is too long, I'm not writing a dissertation, and then they expect me to write that all that. So I've been using ChatGPT anyway to cheat anyway. So but I've submitted it. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but just in case of next time, how what would you advise me to do? Because I was thinking some people say, oh, no, you have to take it to another when the ChatGPT give you the whole of the package of the whole of the result, and then you take it to another website like that, and I said no, to go through the ATS scan free things like that. So that is exactly what I'm not really familiar with. And when you do it like that, you kind of being charged, take it to another thing, for payment and things like that. So what I've just done is just submit that application like that. But just in case of next time, what would you advise me?
Okay, it's very simple. Now, you submitted something, you wrote it with AI, and you are
not
feeling guilty that.
So I did edited not everything, but then well, I would say majority of it is
let's
done by
let's
AI.
even assume you did it with AI completely.
Yeah.
Let's assume the worst.
Yeah.
You did it with AI completely, and then most likely they might test it with AI. If Christopher used AI to do this, so what do? Once you finish writing that thing, just tell the LLM, either ChatGPT, Claude AI, DeepSeek, just say humanize this write-up.
All right.
Do you know what that means? Just because you use part of your head, part intellect to write it and use AI to write some, they can still detect that AI wrote it. Should I prove that to you?
Okay.
I'll prove it to you that they can still detect. It's because when human beings write some things, there's a margin of error. For example, in a sentence, there are some ways that you write it. There should be a length of sentence, a number of words a sentence should have before you have comma, semi-comma, inverted columns, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, if AI does that, AI will be 100% perfect to follow grammatical formulas to make sure that that sentence is perfect. So those areas that you use AI within that your text, AI will still detect that AI wrote this thing, because there's no way an human being can write a sentence and that will be perfect like this. So even within that your write-up, they can still detect that you use AI. But when you now ask AI to humanize it, that means you are saying add human error. Because you have human error does not mean you'll be marked down. They are saying that this person is human being. Because somebody has human error does not mean you cannot have 100%.
Yeah.
Because there are some errors that you can overlook. So we are saying put human errors that can be overlooked there. So that when your ChatGPT that you use will now humanize it and put some human error in what itself did. So that when another AI is checking, it will not detect AI, not that AI wrote it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. That makes sense now.
Good.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Okay. Thank you for that question, Christopher. I need somebody to come and do an interview. But because we don't have too much time, I will share my screen, or I will share my screen, and then I'm going to give you the answer to, I'm going to give you the question to answer. Or how can I make it easy? Okay, no, I won't share my screen. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Who wants to go for it? Now we are going to share your screen. You are not sharing your screen. We are going to put on your camera. We'll see your face, and I'm going to ask you maybe 3 questions, simple ones. The first one will be very simple. The second one might not be too simple. The third one might be a bit difficult, but I just need a volunteer. So we'll test everything we've done today. So who is going to volunteer? So Joshua, thank you. Okay, Joshua. Oh yeah, you are in an interview. We have just 5 minutes for this interview. Okay, put your camera on, please. Why is Ayobami clapping? Your hand is raised, Joshua. I thought you were volunteering.
Sorry.
Huh?
Yes, I'm good to go.
Okay. Do you want to put your camera on or not? Because
it's okay.
we are still being recorded. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't want to, don't worry. Don't put it on. Okay, because it's still
Since we're
being recorded. Yeah. So don't worry. Don't put it on. Now, this is my first question. Let's assume it's morning. Good morning, Joshua, and thank you for attending this interview today. Where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining us from Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, that's far. I heard it's hot today there.
Yes, the temperature today is around 37 and 39 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked about you suggested what I was hot today. I just responded.
Okay, good. So, Joshua, tell me about yourself.
Thank you for the question. Okay. Yeah, so I am a business analyst, and essentially I started out as someone who worked in administration and health and safety to a business development role. And so essentially along my career path, I've been able to understand how to assess business needs and understand the processes or help in business system or process improvement and then facilitate those changes. Specifically, my roles are focused on enhancing our business efficiency or profitability. That's my summary of myself and what I've done so far.
Okay. Is there any other thing you want to say?
Well, you could ask more specific questions, but I just gave a summary.
Okay. What do you know about gap analysis?
Okay. All right. So gap analysis is essentially for a business process or business analyst is essentially around looking at where an organization is and where is either a strategic direction or identify a business needs and be able to do an assessment of what the business is doing currently in terms of what it is now, and then what is that goal we intend to achieve, or what's that business process or efficiency that we have identified, which would constitute conditions for where we want the organization to be.
Okay.
So in some way, gap analysis essentially is one looking at if I use like how organization being able to identify where organization is currently is and gaps, and then being able to identify what is required for us to get into that new phase or transition into that new phase.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Thank you for your time today. That's all we have for you today. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. One of the questions I would like to ask, what is currently, well, I've done a bit of research into your organization, but I'd like to know what essentially is the focus of this role you're interviewing for, and where does it fit into the future plan of this organization?
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. We'll get back to you via the same channel, and have a nice day. Cheers. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you. A
Okay.
pleasure.
Thank you, Joshua. I can tell your categorically that you failed this interview. Joshua.
I'm listening.
Yeah. First of all, I asked you, I greet you, where are you joining us from today? Lagos, Nigeria. I said, I had it's cold, it's hot there. You know that the temperature of Lagos is not part of the interview question. It's an ice-breaking question. You just say, yes, it's hot, and then you kept quiet. It's an avenue for you to break ice, for you to know me more. You can say, oh, I presume that you are maybe in London or you're in Abuja. So how is it there too? Blah, blah. You can laugh. If the person says he's in London, oh, I hope you're not an Arsenal fan. Just break an ice, something like that, and just stop there. But you just said, oh, you asked me that how is Lagos, and I told you something. No, come on. That's one. Then two, tell me about yourself. Um, you were not clear. You just told us some things about what you did, and you did not even go into details of how you worked as a business analyst, how you solve a problem at where you are right now, and detail it. If you were going to talk about that for like 3 minutes, you should use like 75% on where you are right now, what you are working on, how you help them to solve problem, and then just mention personally about where you've worked before and how that you can replicate what you've done in those areas before, how you can replicate them in this new organization. Okay. Then I asked for gap analysis. You gave me definition. I prompted you for that. You gave me a definition. I don't want definition. I want to know that you've done gap analysis somewhere before, and that thing you've done before, you can also do it in our organization using STAR approach. Always use examples, tell stories. Okay. Tell stories, give examples of what you've done before. And I said, always give quantifiable what? Achievements. So you didn't mention this quantifiable because I want to be sure that you are the best candidates for this role before I choose Zena, before I choose Rosemary, before I choose Christopher. I want to choose you, and I want to be sure that I am not making a mistake. So you need to prove to me that if I choose you, if I take you, I will not be sorry, and that will be a good investment for my you give me good return for my investment. That's number 3. Then number 4, there is a thin line between being confident and sounding laid back. Okay, you sound confident because people that sometimes when you speak slowly, it shows you are not rushing it, you are confident, you are not afraid, but you are dragging it a little bit. Your voice was a bit croaky. I'm not sure if you even heard yourself, but you sound confident. But I want to use a lot more to be a bit faster. I know that's the way you talk, but the person you're speaking to might not know that's the way you talk normally. But in all, if it will be an interview, I will have sent you an email that at this instance, we will not be going on with the interview. I'm just being honest with you because you did not follow all the instructions I gave you. Always use the STAR approach as much as possible. Tell them what the problem was, what the situation was, what the action you took, and the results. When they ask you for a technical question like gap analysis, after you've defined it, which you did very well in defining it, always give an example of a time when you use gap analysis. Always give an example. It shows that you understand it. Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. But I'm going to give you a good mark because you came forward to give yourself as the first example, which shows confidence and boldness. I'm going to give you top mark for that. Who else? Our time is up officially. It's 10 p.m. 2 hours into. Is it 10 p.m.? All right. Yeah, 10 p.m. It's 11 p.m. in Nigeria now. 2 hours. So one more person, and I'll hand over the microphone. This person is just 2 minutes. Okay, good. At that point, maybe I should stop talking right now and hand over to Torilokwe. Do you have any feedback for today? Torilokwe will take over from here. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the session. We'll have more time except you want us to continue. Torilokwe, over to you.
Yeah, thank you once again. It's been but the 2-hour round, as if it was just 30 minutes, and nuggets have been shared. I'm sure everyone on call has picked one or two things. Even people that are working, I'm sure I picked some things too. So just want to say thank you again, Lanre, for doing this, for always doing this, and it's been a pleasure.